Dear student, this is your physics miss Kamrun Nahar. Today I am going to discuss about chapter 5 titled State of Matter and Pressure. We know that state of matter means there are three states of matter. One is solid, other is liquid and other is gas. And pressure means the force per unit area applied by any object or any other fluid. Now the topics those will be discussed today: Pascal's law, application of Pascal's law, air pressure, experiment of Torricelli, air pressure and weather. The, these topics are very important, so you should understand it clearly. Now, what is Pascal's law? Pascal's law states that if pressure is applied on any liquid or gas enclosed in a container from outside, then this pressure is transmitted equally and acts perpendicularly on the surface of the container in contact with liquid or gas. This is very easy law to know this. This is a container and it is filled with liquid or gas and pressure P is applied from outside. If you make the pressure or exert force from outside, then the pressure will transmit in all direction. Okay, and that is perpendicularly and attached to the, that means inside, that is attached with liquid or gas. So I am telling it, if pressure is applied on a liquid or gas enclosed in a container from outside, then this pressure is transmitted equally and acts perpendicularly on the surface of a container in contact with the liquid or gas. So pressure is applied from the outside and this container is filled with liquid or gas and this pressure is transmitted equally on the surface of the container in contact with liquid or gas. It may be filled with liquid or it may be filled with gas. This law is applicable in this situation. Now, Pascal's law states that a pressure applied to a fluid. What is fluid? We know that liquid and gas can flow, so they are called fluid. Now, fluid in a container is transmitted equally to every point of the fluid and the walls of the container, as we seen in the figure. Transmitted in all direction of the container and also transmitted in the liquid or fluid that is filled the container. So for Pascal's law, the equation is P equals to F by A. P is the pressure, F is the force and A is the area. So this simple equation is applicable for Pascal's law. Again I am mentioning Pascal's law states that a pressure applied to a fluid in a container that is closed is transmitted equally to every point of the fluid and the walls of the container. So, fluid, I am telling again, the substance that is capable to flow, that is liquid and gaseous matter, are known as fluid. Now, hydraulic press or multiplication of force, you should know, that is according to the principles of Pascal's law. Now, a multiplication of force can be achieved by the application of fluid pressure according to Pascal's principle, which for the two pistons implies P1 equals to P2. So, this allows the lifting of a heavy load with a small force, as in an auto hydraulic lift. But of course, there can be no multiplication of work. So, In an ideal case with no frictional loss, work input equals to work output. This is the diagram. Calculation: if you put F1 force, okay, then P1 equals to F1 by A1. A1 is the area and D1 is the diameter of this piston, and we get another output force F2 equals to A2 divided by A1 into F1. This is the multiplication of force law or equation. So F1 into D1 equals to F2 into D2. D1 equals to, we can just change the side, F2 divided by F1 into D2 equals to A2 divided by A1 into D2. You have to pay for the multiplied output force by exerting the smaller input force through a larger distance. Now we get the idea about how multiplication of force occurred. Again, I am discussing this law. The main equation is P equals to F by A, and here we see there are two cylinders and one cylinder has cross-sectional area A1 and the other cylinder has cross-sectional area A2, and F1 force is applied on the cross-sectional area A, and then your applied pressure is P equals to F by A1. Now this pressure is transmitted through a liquid or through the fluid that is filled in the uh, uh, cylinder all direction, and it will also applied on the cross sectional area of the second cylinder. Therefore, the amount of force applied on the second cylinder equals to F2. F2 equals to A2 by A1 into F1. Okay, that is, therefore, you see, imagine that if the magnitude of A2 by A1 is 100, then you will get 100 times more forces on the second cylinder than the force you applied on the first cylinder. That means when you applied, or it is calculated that A2 divided by A1 is more in magnitude 100 or 50, then you will get 100 times or 50 times more forces on the second cylinder than the force of the first one you have given on the cylinder. This is the multiplication of force. So this is very effective and it is used to control large factories and aircraft, but keep in mind it is the principle of increasing force. In this process, energy cannot be increased at all. Okay, now Pascal's law. Variations of Pascal's law. Pressure equals to force divided by area. P equals to F by A, or force equals to pressure times into area into, you can keep multiply it, and area equals to force divided by pressure. This is the basic principle, but you can also apply this principle. This is the variation of Pascal's law. Now about the multiplication of force, I am telling it, this is the input force and this is the output force. If the relation between A2 divided by A1 is 100 times more, then you get the pressure from the second cylinder than the force you have applied on the first cylinder 100 times more. So it is a law where the force always increases, and here diameter D1 is for first cylinder 1 and D2 for the second cylinder diameter, and here is the calculation, and we got this equation. Basically, this is known as the multiplication of force. Now, air pressure. The air around you has weight and it presses against everything it touches. That pressure is called atmospheric pressure or air pressure. It is the force exerted on a surface by the air above it as gravity pulls it to the earth. Atmospheric pressure is commonly measured with a barometer. The pressure on the earth's surface is 10 to the power 5 Newton per meter square. Okay. The pressure of the earth is 10 to the power 10 to the power 5 Newton per meter square. You have to remember it. That means if you imagine an area of 1 meter square on the earth, then the weight of the column of air on it is 10 to the power 5 Newton. This is approximately the weight of an elephant. Now, here is a column of atmosphere. The weight of the air in the column applies a pressure to the point X. This is a unit area and this is the total surface. This is the process how atmospheric pressure is calculated. Basically, atmospheric pressure is measured in barometer, which is why atmospheric pressure is also referred to as barometric pressure. Now, atmospheric pressure is force exerted by the weight of the air. Atmospheric pressure is the force exerted by the weight of the air on an unit area. Okay. If the number of air molecules above a surface increases, there are more molecules to exert a force on that surface and consequently the pressure increases. Now there is a relation between altitude and air pressure. Both air pressure and air density decrease with the increasing of altitude. That means if the altitude increases, the pressure will be low. And also the density of the air also low. Okay, this is the basic relation between the altitude and air pressure. When the altitude increases, then the air pressure also decreases. If the altitude decreases, then the air pressure increases. Now, experiment of Torricelli. A scientist, Torricelli, did this experiment of the pressure of air using mercury in the year 1643. This is a mercury tube. This is a tube filled with mercury. This is basically glass tube, and he put it in a mercury filled container. And it is kept in an inverted way. So I am mentioning it again. He used a glass tube and that is filled with mercury and put in a container that is filled with mercury and put the glass tube in inverted way. After falling continuously, the mercury stopped at a height of 76 centimeter or 760 millimeter. The vacancy which you try to create while sipping liquid, the vacancy was created in the upper portion of the glass tube. Air is exerting pressure on the mercury and that pressure being transmitted everywhere of the liquid, even down to the tube. There is no leakage above the tube and so air cannot exert pressure through that side. Therefore, to equalize the pressure, there is only a pressure under the tube, which is the pressure due to the height of 76 centimeter or 760 millimeter mercury column. This instrument by which air pressure is measured is called barometer. Until now, the pressure of the air is measured by barometer, which uses the process of Torricelli. the height of the mercury column becomes more than 76 if the air pressure increases, and if the air pressure decreases, the height becomes less than 76 centimeter or 760 millimeter. I am repeating it. The height of the mercury column becomes more than 76 centimeter if the air pressure increases, and if the air pressure decreases, the height of the mercury also less than 76 centimeter. So it is clear that air pressure is also uh, shows proportional to the height of the mercury column. Now this is just a view of Torricelli's experiment was invented in Pisa in 1643 by the Italian scientist, and the purpose of this experiment is to prove that the source of vacuums come from the atmospheric pressure, and a vacuum formed above the column of the mercury in a mercury barometer is known as Torricelli's vacuum. This is known as Torricelli's vacuum. Now, air pressure and weather. This is very regular phenomenon of our weather. Weather has a close relationship with air pressure. You have certainly heard that in weather news about the creation of depression in the sea, which means the air pressure has been decreased. Now come to the relation. Barometer helps us to forecast the weather. So barometer is very important, and we know the weather forecast by knowing the air pressure. If pressure is high, it prevents warm moist air forming rising into the upper atmosphere. That is, good fair weather occurs. And if the pressure is low, the air masses move apart in the upper atmosphere. This reduces the pressure on the layers of warm air below. Warm air rises, cloud forms, and rainy weather may occur. At sea level, air pressure is normally around 760 millimeter or 76 centimeter. Extremely strong hurricanes happen air pressure between 30 and 70 millimeter. So it is clear that with the pressure, weather also changes. When the pressure is high, then the good fair weather occurs, and if the pressure is going below, then the air masses apart in the upper atmosphere. This reduces the pressure on the layer of warm air below. Warm air rises, cloud forms, and rainy weather may occur. And this situation is extremely strong hurricanes happen air pressure between 30 and 70 millimeter. So, if the weather is good, then the barometer shows high pressure and the air is dry, and if the pressure starts to decrease, then it is understood that the quantity of water vapor is increasing. So it is clear how we get the information by seeing the barometer or by getting the reading from barometer. Okay, and this MB means millibars. Millibars is another unit of pressure. This is basically used by meteorologists. So I have just mentioned what is the elaboration of MB. So it is clear, I think, for you. Thank you, everybody.